You're going to start standing. We're not using the band quite yet, but you want to have it close enough by so that you can grab it when we need. Your legs are going to start wide. You're going to be turned out so that when you bend your knees, you want your knees going over your second toe. Okay, and so now bend down, stand up, bend down, stand up. Good. Bend down, stand up. For 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and on this one, we're going to hold down into that squat. And now just get into the heels of the feet and feel how when you push into the heels of the feet, it's going to send your pelvis back. You want to get your knees as close to over your ankles as you can. And then we're just going to go from one leg to the other leg. Just small movements. If you're getting it into your knees at all, you want to make that movement of pushing down instead of pushing forward. Even though you're rocking, load your hips. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come back to center. So your pelvis is in the center, and we're going to lower and lift both heels. Lift your heels up, lower your heels down. Lift your heels up, then down. Up and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up tall. Bring your feet now underneath your sits bones. So it's about sit bone distance apart. And you're just going to bring your right leg up to tabletop and then place it back down. Really simple. Lift the leg up. Hey, Fabiana. And place it back down. Lift up and down. Lift up and down. Okay, so now hold that right leg in tabletop. Check to make sure that you're not hiking your hip. You want to push your sit bone towards the ground. Your pelvis isn't jutting out to the side. You keep that hip in, just working on the balance. And now let's lower and lift the left heel. You rise up, you lower down. Rise up, lower down. You lift the heel, you lower the heel. So working some balance. If you need to grab a wall or grab something to help with that balance, but try to make sure your hips stay square. You don't want to hike your hip up. We're doing 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to take your right leg. You step back and behind you, bend your left knee, which is your front knee, to stay over the ankle. So you're in this lunge position. Now from here, you can rest your hands on your knees if it ever gets to be too much, but we're just tapping the front foot. You have all the weight in the heel, and you're pulling the balls of the feet up and tapping your foot like a drummer. Sarah, close the ribs. You want to make sure that the ribs don't pop. You want to draw them down. Good, Brandy. And now everyone, try to make sure your pelvis isn't moving. You're not bouncing the whole body. You're just tapping the front of your foot. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to come back up, bringing that right leg to tabletop. Hold, lower, and lift that left heel 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to step back, lunge down, step up, tabletop, step back, lunge down. And then you can also add some arm movement. As your right leg goes back, your right arm comes forward. Just getting a little bit of movement into that hip. Good. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, last 1, and then place the foot down. Okay, left side should be warmed up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to bring the left leg to tabletop. So the opposite leg, if you're on the opposite side, and we're holding here, make sure that the hip isn't kind of hiking up. You're not jutting your right hip out to the side. You want to be square, and you're holding here. Draw your shoulder blades down. Lower and lift the heel. Lift the heel up, lower the heel down. Lift up, lower down. Lift up, then down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to take that left leg, you step back, bend the right knee, it's over the right ankle, We're in this lunge position, everyone. Check your core, make sure you're not flaring those ribs, and let's tap that front foot. All the weight's in the heel. You're just lowering and lifting as you impatiently wait for someone. You can even hinge forward slightly, putting a little bit more weight into the heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to go straight into you lunge. Bring that left leg up and then back down. Lunging up and down, up, then down. Good. Up and down. So warming up the whole ankle, up into the hip. So work the stability for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place both feet down. Shake it all out, and let's go ahead, grab your straps. You're going to be stepping in the middle of your strap. Both feet. It's going to be a pyramid going up. So just looking here, the movements are going to be an elbow bend to a arm lower to 90. You push the arms forward, then you're going to open the arms, close the arms, bend the elbows in, lower down. So we're going to do that exercise, but we build up the number of reps. So first time it's going to be 1 rep of everything. Bend the elbows, lower the elbows to 90 degrees. Push the elbows forward, open the arms, close the arms, bend the elbows in, lower down. Now 2 elbow bends. 1, 2, lower to 90 degrees. 2 times, press forward, bring them back in. Press forward, hold. Open the arms, close the arms. Open the arms, close the arms. Bend the elbows in, lower down. 3 times, 3 elbow bends. 1, 2, 3, lower to a 90-degree angle. Press forward, bring them back in. Press forward, back in. Press forward and hold. Open and close the arms. Open and close. Now, if this ever gets to be too much, you can always let the arms rest by doing this without. Bend the elbows in and lower down. 4 times bending the elbows. You can always do this without straps. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. 3. Then you're going to lower your arms to a 90-degree angle. Press forward, back in. Press forward, back in. Press forward, back in. Last one, press forward and hold. Open the arms, close the arms. Open, close. Open, close, bend in. Last one, 5 times for 5, 4, 3, 2. And then on this one, you come all the way up, lower to a 90-degree angle. Press forward, back in. Press forward, back in. For 3, 4, keep your arms straight. Now open the arms, close the arms. Open the arms, close the arms. Open and close. Last 2, 1 and 2, and bend your elbows in, lower them down, round the shoulders forward and back. Okay, good job. So now we're going to take the right foot. It's going to stay in the strap. Your left foot steps forward and is out of the strap. Now you want to take that right foot and step it very far back behind you. So you're in kind of a split position. You're going to bend your left knee forward and then bend your right knee down towards the ground, going for a 90-90 lunge, meaning your back knee is staying underneath the hip and it's bent towards the ground. If this is ever too much in anybody's knees, you just straighten that back knee. But you're holding this lunge. Hold here. Reach the arms forward and hold. Holding here. Now, you're going to rotate your torso to the left, rotate back to center. So you rotate the torso towards that front knee with those arms staying forward. Good. It's going to affect your balance because of the pull of the arms. Really get into your hip stability. Squeeze the glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Rotate back to center. Bend your elbows into your side. Hinge forward, straighten your back leg. We're going to go up into an arabesque, meaning you straighten your front leg, float your back leg up. It's still strapped. You float it up. Now you're going to open your arms a little bit wider just to give yourself a little space. You bend your knees in so they're side by side. push your push your heel back. Bend the knee in, push the leg back. It's a floating donkey kick. Good. Now, you can either keep the leg floating or you can place it on the ground when you kick back. For 3, good, Sarah. 2, nice, Patricia. Last one, keep that leg straight back behind you. Then you're going to bend your front knee so you come back down into your lunge. Good. Bring the feet together. Lower the arms down. Let's switch what foot is strapped. So now left foot is going to be strapped. Good, Brandy. That new strap, I hope, is working well. And you're going to take that left foot, you're going to step back. Left foot's back, it's strapped. You bend your right knee. And you're in this forward lunge. Straighten your arms forward. Rotate the torso to the right. Rotate to center. Rotate to the right and center. Now the rotation is just the torso. You can either do this in a 90-90 lunge or a straight leg lunge. The torso rotation is what's moving the shoulders. You're not just moving the shoulders. Your heart opens to the right and then back to center. Last 2. 1, 2. Rotate back to center. Straighten the back leg. Bend your elbows into your side. Float up into your arabesque. And hold. Now really find the heel of that right leg, that front leg that you're stabilizing in. Then you bend your left knee in, kick it back. Bend in, kick back. Bend in, kick back. If you need to widen your elbows to keep the strap off of you, that is fine. You just bend in and back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Hold. Bend that front knee to place that back foot down. Stack your spine up, lower your arms down. Bring your feet together. Place both feet in the strap. Then you're just going to look down the nose, round the spine forward, reaching down towards the ground, getting a stretch for your back, stretch for your hamstrings. And then you can always place your hands on the ground. And we're going to just lower your sits bones to the ground. And you're going to come to a sitting position. So if you have a ball, or you need support for your back, now would be the time to grab that support. You're going to be placing it underneath your mid-back. Or sorry, not your mid-back, your sacrum. That's only if you need it. Otherwise, we're going to really work your core here to stabilize. Let's go ahead. You're going to put both straps. Oh, hey, Navua. Both straps are going to be in the right hand. So you're just holding both ends of the strap in your right hand. And the closer you grab to your feet, the heavier it will be in your arms. So now both arms are going to straighten out in front of you. Even though just the right hand has the strap, you roll back into your C curve, making sure you keep the ribs off the pelvis. You tilt that pubic bone and only your sacrum should be on the ground. Good, Marie. Now relax the shoulders, everybody. Get the shoulders away from the ears and keep the chin from reaching forward by looking up at the ceiling, keeping your ears where they are, and lower your chin down. Now from here, you're going to just bend your right arm in and rotate to the right. Then rotate to center. Right arm comes in and it's a narrow row. You want to bring your elbow almost into your side and then behind it. And you rotate your torso as you bend that arm in. Bend in and rotate back to center. Rotate, center. For 5. For 4. 3, 2, and on this one, you're going to pull in and hold. So now you've rotated the torso. You're reaching that left arm forward. That strap is pulled in. Hold here for 5, 4. See if you can roll back a little bit further. 3, 2, 1. Keep the rotation. Straighten your right arm forward. You're still rotated. Grab the strap with your left hand. So now your straps are split. You're still rotated. Roll down the right side of your spine till your right shoulder blade hits. Rotate over so both tips of your shoulder blades are on the mat and you're curled up. At any point, if you need to rest the head and shoulders, please do here. Let's bend and straighten the elbows. Bend and straighten. So we're doing a bicep curl. Your head and shoulders are lifted up. You're rolled down just to the tips of your shoulder blades. Now, again, check to make sure you're not pushing your chin forward. You want to pull your ears back behind your shoulders here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2. Bend your elbows and hold. Your elbows are bent, knuckles are towards the ceiling. Rest your elbows on the ground. Rest your head and shoulders on the ground. You're going to do a pelvic tilt to flatten out your low back. Bend your knees, drawing your heels towards your sits bones, and then float your legs to tabletop. Your elbows are bent. You're now going to push the legs forward, bring them back in. Push the legs forward, bring them back in. Press forward and back. Good. So it's just a leg press. Your head and shoulders are down. If you want to challenge your core, you can curl your head and shoulders off the mat, just coming back onto the tips of the scapula. For 3, 2. Now pause with both legs straight. Now you're going to reach your arms above you and then circle the arms as you bend the legs into tabletop. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Circle the arms as you bend the legs in. If you need to grab closer to the ears of your strap because the strap gets too heavy, that's fine. You straighten the arms above you as you straighten the legs out in front of you. Circle the arms, bend the legs in. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Circle the arms, bend the legs in. Good. Straighten, circle and bend in. Last one. Straighten, circle and bend in. Lower your head and shoulders. Place your feet down on the ground so that your heels and then the bottom of your feet are on the ground. So you want to make sure the strap still stays underneath the feet. Your thumbs are going to be going, the ears of the strap will be going out towards your thumbs. Your palms are facing each other so that you can lift your hips up into a bridge and then straighten your arms towards the ceiling. Your palms should be facing each other and your hands are in line with your elbows, which are in line with your shoulders, and you're holding this bridge. Now open the arms out to the side, bring them back towards the ceiling. If you want to work your shoulders more, you grab closer towards the middle of the strap. You can walk your hands down, grabbing more of the strap. We're just opening and closing the arms while you're lifted up into your bridge. Open and close. Open and close. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the arms out to the side. Your arms should be hovering off the mat just like your hips are. Let's paint 5 circles each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your arms into your side. Let your strap go. Lower your hips down. You shouldn't be holding onto your strap. Your legs are you're just resting down on the ground, and send your knees side to side. Okay, now from here, you're going to bring your right leg to tabletop. Then bring your left leg to tabletop. Bring your hands behind your head to support the neck. Curl your head and shoulders off the mat. At any point it gets too much, you rest the head and shoulders. If it gets into the low back, you send your legs higher. Straighten your right leg forward. And then as your right leg comes in, your left leg bends, straightens. For 2, 2. So it's like scissor kicks. Sorry, bicycles, not scissor kicks. 4, 4, 5, 5. Pause. Your left leg's going to be straight. Your right leg's in tabletop. Now bring your left armpit towards your right knee. And then as you switch legs, you bring your right armpit towards your left knee as your left knee comes into tabletop. And switch. Switch, 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 switch. That's 4, 5, 5. Bring both legs to tabletop. Your head and shoulders are lifted off. Bring your hands to the outside of your shins. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Circle your arms as you bend the legs into tabletop. Arms straighten above you, legs straighten out in front of you. Circle the arms, bend the legs in. Good. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Circle the arms, bend the legs in. That was 3. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Circle the arms as you bend the legs in. Last one. Straighten arms, straighten legs. Circle arms as you bend the legs in. It's the same movement. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs, but now you bring both arms to the outside of your left leg, bringing your right shoulder blade off. Straighten arms, straighten legs. Then you go to the outside of the other leg, bringing your left shoulder blade off. Your arms come to the outside of the legs as you bend those knees into tabletop. This is 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. One more on each side. 6, 6. Now, straighten your arms, straighten the legs. Curl your head and shoulders up as you grab behind the legs. Straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. Both legs are straight. Remember, rest your head and shoulders at any point if this gets to be too much. Bring your hands behind your head. Try to keep that intense curl. Lower your left leg down. And then switch. Now we do scissor kicks and switch. Everybody, your low back should be flat. You can always place your hands underneath your sacrum to give you more support. As one leg moves, the other leg moves. Switch, 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 switch. For 2, 2, 1. Pause with that leg towards the ceiling. For me, it's my right leg. You're going to bring that opposite armpit towards that leg towards the ceiling. So if it's your right leg, bring your left armpit towards your right leg and vice versa. Rotate. So you're getting these obliques now. For 3, 2, 1. Switch what legs towards the ceiling. Opposite arm towards that opposite knee as you rotate and switch. Good. Right armpit towards left knee as you rotate, bringing that oblique action into this. For 3, 2. Last part of this series. Bring both legs up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands underneath your sacrum. You can keep your head and shoulders lifted up if you want, otherwise rest it down. Straighten the legs as straight as you can. Lower your legs down as low as feels comfortable for your low back, then straighten them up. Good, Brandy. Go only as low as you can keep your whole spine flat. Lower down. Lift up. Lower down. Lift up. 3 more. This is 3. This is 2. Last 1. Then you're going to bend your legs into tabletop, lower your head and shoulders, rest your feet down on the ground. Now let's go ahead and turn the monitor. So you want to be connected, so you want to be lying down on your side. Now from here, you bend both your legs into tabletop. So your legs are in tabletop, you're lying down on your side. You're going to start by just lifting and lowering the entire leg. Lift and lower. You want to keep your ankle engaged. You're not actively flexing and you're not pointing the foot. You're just this halfway point so that everything is engaged. You're lifting that hip up, you lower the hip down. Lift the hip up. Lift the leg up from your hip. For 3. Now make sure the pelvis doesn't move. 2. And then you're going to lift that leg and hold. Good. Now straighten that left leg straight in line with your body. So your right leg should be bent in front of you. Your left leg should be in line with your shoulder, reaching down. Now from here, externally rotate. Rotate your toes towards the ceiling. Rotate your toes towards the ground. Toes towards the ceiling. Toes towards the ground. Toes towards the ceiling. Toes towards the ground. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. And then rotate your toes forward. Reach that leg long, and let's paint 5 circles each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to bend your top leg into tabletop and hold. Your knee is going to stay still in space. You just rotate your heel towards the ceiling. Rotate your heel to parallel. So we're doing internal rotation of the hip. Internal rotation. Good. Internally rotate. So that ankle lifts towards the ceiling, then it lifts back to parallel to the ground. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause with that leg parallel. Hold. Extend the leg straight out in front of you and hold. Externally rotate. So you're rotating your toes towards the ceiling. Paint 5 circles each direction with that straight leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate the leg to parallel. Kick it back in line with you. Lower that leg down. Take your top arm and you're going to reach above you and push out of that foot, getting a stretch through the hip and through the shoulder. And then you're going to bring your top hand onto the mat. You're going to press yourself up and then rotate over to an all fours position. So you're going to be in an all fours position, and let's do a couple cat cows. Spine up. Round your spine up. Extend your spine down. Round up. Extend down. 2 more. 1 and 2. And now find your neutral spine. So we're going to do a whole plank series. If it's ever too much on your wrists, you're going to just stay on the forearms when we move to the hands. So everyone, you drop down to one forearm, then the other forearm. The other thing, if it's too much to have your legs straight, you just bend your knees. You want to make sure your hips are flat, but you're pushing away from the ground. So we're on your forearms. Go ahead and straighten one leg back behind you, then your other leg, and now you're in a plank. You're on your forearms. If it's more comfortable to be on your hands, you can be on your hands as well. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Come up onto your hands if you're on your forearms, or stay on your forearms if it's too much on your hands. And you're holding here. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, send your hands outside of your shoulders. Walk your hips up towards the ceiling. And then your feet are going to separate about shoulder distance. So you're in this downward dog triangle. Bend your knees ever so slightly. And now bend and straighten your elbows. You're doing these diver bomb push-ups. You bend the elbows. Your head goes towards the ground. You press yourself back up. 2 more. 1, 2. Now, walk your feet back. Come back into your plank. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to bend the elbows a little bit and hold. Bend the elbows a little bit more and hold. Drop your knees to the ground. Lower your body all the way down. Good. So now, if you're lying on your stomach, you're going to separate your hands to make goalpost arms. And you're going to draw your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Push your pubic bone gently into the mat. You're going to lift your head, lift your chest. Good. And then lower back down. Lift your head, lift your chest. Lower back down. Lift your head, lift your chest, and hold. Okay, you're going to bend your right knee so the bottom of the foot goes towards the ceiling. Reach back with your right hand to grab your right ankle. You now keep that belly button drawn off the ground. Bend your left knee. Grab your left ankle with your left hand. Hold here. Now, you actively hold on to those ankles as you start to straighten the knees and feel how that pulls you up into deeper extension while also working your back extensors, your quads, and you're stabilizing for 3, 2, 1, and release and lower everything down. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Come back up to an all fours position. Okay, now you're going to rotate so that your left elbow is on the ground, and you can rotate so that you're facing, we're going to be doing a side plank. You can stay on your forearm, or you can go onto your hand. Either one is fine. And find your side plank. So while you're holding this plank, I'm going to give you a couple modifications, but we're just going to hold it while I'm talking. Your feet can be split, meaning your top leg is in front, your bottom leg's in back. You can stack your feet to work your balance a little bit more, or you can bend your bottom knee and keep it on the ground. But you want to try to keep a long straight line from the armpit down, either to the knee or to the foot. Reach that arm up. Even if you're on your knees, on your forearms, you can do this. Rotate towards the ground. Rotate back to center. Good. Rotate towards the ground. Rotate back to center. Now, if your shoulder is causing you problems, you can come up and not be on your shoulder and rotate like so. That's only if your shoulder is causing you some issues. You come up onto your knee and you work this rotation. Okay, 2 more rotations for 2, 1, and bend your bottom knee to rest it on the ground. Push yourself up to this high kneeling position. Boy, round the shoulders forward and back. Everybody, you're going to grab your strap. Reach your arms straight out in front of you. And you're just going to open the arms out to the side, Bring them back to center. Open and close. Good. Open and close. And now as you open those arms, let the shoulder blades pinch and the collarbones lift. Last one, keep the arms open. Now on this one, you're going to just reach that right arm towards the ceiling as you side bend to the left, and then draw yourself back up. And it's just your ribs. Draw your ribs down. Don't let your hips move at all. Good. Good, Fabiana. Good, Sarah. Y'all got it. And come back up. Bring your arms together. Let the strap rest on the ground. And now we're going to turn it and lie on your other side. So you're going to lie down on your other side. Bend your legs into tabletop. And let's go ahead and just lift and lower the top leg. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, lift and hold. Now straighten that leg straight back in line with your body. Hold it here. Now you're going to internally rotate, then externally rotate. Internal rotation. So you want to feel as if you're like screwing in a light bulb or a screwdriver, and that screwdriver is your femur, and you're just rotating it in the pelvis. The pelvis does not move. For 3, 2, 1, hold. Now let's just paint 5 circles here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your top leg up into tabletop and hold. Now you're going to lift that top ankle, rotate it back towards the ground. Lift the top ankle. So it's internal rotation of the hip. And you have gravity being your weight. Now make sure your pelvis doesn't move, everybody, and try to find that neutral pelvis. So your tailbone's sticking back behind you slightly. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause when that leg's back to parallel. Straighten the leg straight out in front of you. Externally rotate. Then go back to parallel. Now externally rotate, making those toes go towards the ceiling. And on this one, you're going to pause, externally rotate. Let's paint 5 circles each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate the leg back to parallel. Bend that knee, straighten it back in line with you. Lower the leg down, reach your top arm up and push out of that foot to get a stretch. And then you're going to bring that top hand down in front of you, push yourself up, come up to your high kneeling position again. We're going to do the other side for our side plank. So you can already hit your side plank if you know what position you want to do, but say someone's shoulder is hurting, you can always just send your leg out to the front and you'll be in this side lean like this. If you can't put any pressure on your shoulder, and then you still can get all this rotation without having to put any pressure on your hands. So you find what works for you. You can either be on your hand, you can be on your elbow, but you're going to come into your side plank. Now, remember, you can always rest that bottom knee on the ground. You can straighten both legs, having your top leg in front, or you can stack your feet. Whoa, and work your balance. Okay, reach that top arm up towards the ceiling, and then rotate back to center. Rotate, center, good. Rotate, center. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1, and then with control, you bend your bottom knee, you lower everything back down, and now you're just gonna lie down on your back. Let your palms face the ceiling, send your knees side to side, getting a stretch for your hips, just moving those hips. Now we've done a lot of hip engagement. You wanna keep this hip engagement for when we work the core, which is right now. You're gonna bring your right leg to tabletop. Then flatten out your low back, bring your left leg to tabletop. Keep your whole hip complex engaged. So you want to think about your inner thighs, outer glutes, hip flexors and hip extensors. Straighten the legs towards the ceiling and then separate the legs to make a V. Now we're going to do 5 crunches, just going straight up. Bring your hands in between the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2. And on this one, you hold. Now we're going to do 5 pulses, pulsing up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold. Your shoulder blades should be off. Bring your right hand to the inside of your left leg, left hand to the outside of the left leg. And now you're just rotating your right armpit off. Right shoulder blade comes off the ground, then it lowers back down. So you rotate. Now this is getting those obliques again for 3, for 2. And on this one, you hold. Just your left shoulder blade should be down on the mat. Now pull your left shoulder blade up as you come forward towards the knee for up, up, for 3, 2, 1. Bring your hand so that your right hand's to the outside of right leg, left hand to the inside of right leg, and rotate and reach up. So left shoulder blade comes off, and then it lowers back down. Good. You can always bend those legs into tabletop if it's too much. For 3, 2, and on this one, you're going to hold left shoulder blades off, right shoulder blades down, and now pull that right shoulder blade up as you come up, up for your pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your legs together, lower your head and shoulders, place your feet down on the ground. Send those knees side to side. Let your head and shoulders rest for a second. Just send those knees side to side. Then you're going to bring your feet back to center in line with your sits bones, knees going towards the ceiling. Turn your palms to face the ceiling. And we're just going to lift your hips up into a bridge. You want your glutes engaged, but you're not clenching so much that you overextend those hips. There should be a straight line from your knee down through your hip and out your shoulder. Holding here. Now really engage the glute. Really feel as if you're pushing still into the ground as you straighten your right leg forward. The more you can engage that right side, the more stable your pelvis is going to be. So pretend and find as if you can push into that wall away from you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to lift and lower that right leg. Lift and lower. And you want to keep that leg as straight as you can. So only move it till you have to bend it. And then once you have to bend it, that's where you stop. You want to keep the leg straight for 2, 1. Bend the knee, place that foot down on the ground and hold. Reestablish that connection of heel into the ground. Straighten your left leg straight out in front of you and engage that left glute. It's harder to engage it when you have nothing to push into. And now hold it. I got a little ahead of myself. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knee down till they're side by side. Place that foot down on the ground. Lower your hips all the way down. Good. Send those knees side to side and reach around and grab your strap. Okay. We still have your left side to do. I did not forget. From the beginning of class, we only did the right side with our oblique work. You're going to wrap your feet with the strap and then straighten your legs straight out in front of you and flex your feet, push out of your heels. So your feet are flexed, you're pushing out of your heels. And what you're going to do is you're going to look down the nose, roll your spine up just to the tips of your shoulder blades. Just to the tips of your shoulder blades. So you're just up in thoracic flexion. Turn your palms to face the ceiling. Bend and straighten your elbows. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause with your elbows bent. Now you're going to rotate so that your right shoulder blade comes off. Just your right shoulder blade is off. The right side of your ribs start to lift. Now let's put the right strap into the left hand. So both straps are in the left hand. Straighten your right arm straight out in front of you. Okay, now keep that left elbow bent. You're gonna roll up just to the tips of your sacrum. So just your sacrum is on the mat. That left side of your sacrum, you're holding. Now straighten that left arm and then bend it in. We're doing that rowing and rotation. Now you rotate your heart back to center towards your feet as you straighten your arm. You row that left arm in and you rotate to the left. You bend in and rotate, then back to center. Bend in and rotate. Good, Marie, back to center. Bend in and rotate, back to center for 5. See if you can come up a little bit higher, Brandy. Good. Yes, there you go. 3, 2, last 1, and rotate back to center. Come all the way up. Hinge forward, grab your feet. If you can, bend your knees slightly. Just get a stretch for your back. Take a couple inhales here, then exhale. Okay, you're gonna let go of your strap. You're gonna come to a high kneeling position. And then just from here, let's just round the shoulders forward and back. Send, push your hands down towards the ground. Send one ear towards that same shoulder. Actively pushing those hands towards the ground, pull yourself back up. Push back down towards the ground, opposite ear towards the opposite shoulder. And then back up. Reach the hands down. Ear goes down. Reach back up. Reach those hands down. Ear towards shoulder. Come back up. Reach down. Ear towards shoulder. Good. Now, let's take the right leg. Right leg is going to stay down on the ground. Left leg is going to come forward. So we're in these, this is that 90-90 lunge again. If you can, you go straight up. Otherwise, you hinge forward and you straighten your back knee. If you can, you're going to just go straight up. Good. Now, everyone, you're going to hinge forward and hold. You can place your hands on your knees for stability, but you should be hinged forward. So there's a line, slope going from your heel down from your shoulder. You don't want it to be a severe slope. And then you're just going to bring your feet together and then send that right leg back behind you. Try to keep that left knee on top of the left ankle as you just go forward and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Keep that right leg back behind you. Then you're going to bend your right knee towards the ground, letting that right knee rest on the ground. Good. Bring your knees side by side. And then you're going to bring your right leg forward or opposite leg forward. You hinge forward and you come all the way up. So you're in this lunge position. Good. Now shift all the weight into your front leg. Now you're going to just bring your back leg forward so your feet are side by side. Your back leg comes forward. Yes, and your back leg stays back, goes back. So you're staying in this lunge position, but the foot is just going forward and back. Left leg goes back. Good, Brandy, just like that. And you want to keep all the weight into that front heel. Good. For 3 more. 3. Good, Marie. 2. Last 1. Bring your feet together. Stand up tall. Inhale, float your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, look down the nose. Round the spine forward, reaching down towards the ground. Let your tailbone lift up towards the ceiling as your sits bones go up towards the ceiling. Build your spine back up 1 vertebra at a time. Round the shoulders forward and back. And fantastic job, everybody.